Jack Reeve never planned to be a hero. He was a 27-year-old human engineer who liked quiet cargo runs, warm coffee, and machines that behaved. The morning his ship, the Sunhopper, left Luna Station, everything looked calm. The hold carried medical crates for a frontier colony. The computer showed a straight route. Jack even opened a paperback, hoping for a dull week. Boredom vanished 6 hours later. A sudden meteor swarm clawed out of the black. Tiny rocks tore through the hull. Warning lights flashed. Stabilizers failed. Jack fought the controls, but the main engine died. Gravity from a green-blue planet below pulled him in. "Mayday," he yelled. Static answered. The Sunhopper hit. Jungle hard. Towering trees snapped. Metal shrieked. Escape gel wrapped him in a soft cocoon, saving bones but not pride. When the wreck stopped smoking, bright birds burst into purple sky. Jack crawled out, bruised but alive. Warm, sweet air filled his lungs. Giant leaves dripped silver dew. A waterfall roared nearby. Peaceful sights could not hide truth. He was stranded light years from help. Training kicked in. First collect, second, shelter, third, signal, grabbed. A pack, a multi-tool, and 3 ration bars. A solar cell still worked. He set it on a rock to feed his scanner. By noon, he finished a lean shelter under a root arch. Vines became rope. Bark became shingles. It was ugly, but it kept rain out. Food came next. Rations might last for days. He needed local plants. The scanner tested nuts and moss, warning of poison, clearing a few safe bites. He kept busy. Voices. Even his own fought silence. "Fixers survive," he muttered. On the second night, the scanner chirped. Weak energy pulsed. Northeast artificial. Hope flared. Maybe a beacon. He packed a torch and hurried through thick growth, slicing vines. Stepping over fungi that hissed. The forest ended at a cliff wall. A wide arch glowed blue inside. The scanner spiked. Entering caves broke rules, yet curiosity won. The passage opened into a crystal hall. Light danced along sharp pillars. In the center stood a black console covered in silver marks. Beside it knelt a tall alien female in turquoise armor. One arm hung limp, dark blood dripping. She pressed a small device to her throat. Jack lifted empty hands. "I'm Jack. I crashed. Can I help?" Gold eyes snapped open. She rose, a head taller armor. Hissing, the device clicked, and a harsh mechanical voice came out. "Touch it, or I'll do it myself." Jack froze. "What?" "Touch it," the voice repeated, "or I will do it myself." The tone warned, not welcomed. He eyed the console. Sparks skittered across its face. Maybe doctor, maybe bomb. The alien stepped closer, teeth gritted. He saw the slash on her shoulder deep, still bleeding. She was hurt and desperate. "Translator broken," he whispered. She pointed at the panel, then at her wound, then nudged his hand forward. Her armor lights blinked red like a low battery. The console must be a healer needing a second user. He refused. She would act anyway. Maybe dying. Jack breathed slow. Unknown tech can kill, but the frontier motto rang. Help first. Engineers fix things. He set his palm on the glass. Cold current tingled up his arm. Symbols shifted into Terran letters. Biometric accepted. Dual mode enabled. A soft chime echoed. Light washed over the alien. Flesh knitted. Armor sealed. Flexed healed muscles. Surprise melting into fierce pride. She tapped her throat device. "You are now my honored fix-bringer." Wait, I what? Before he could continue, the console brightened, projecting circles and arrows deeper into the cave. Hidden gears rumbled. A door slid open. The scanner buzzed. Energy surge, source unknown. Adventure had found him. Night creatures howled outside. Inside, alien tech waited. Jack steadied trembling knees. "Lead the way," he said. The warrior nodded once. Together they walked into deeper shadow, where secrets hummed, and the future waited to be fixed. Jack followed the tall alien warrior deeper into the glowing cave. Strange lights moved along the walls like fireflies trapped in glass. The path curved downward, and the air turned cooler. The alien walked with silent steps like a trained hunter. Jack tried to keep up, but tripped over a small stone. She turned sharply, looking at him. He laughed nervously and said, "I'm okay." She tilted her head, confused. He pointed to himself. Jack then pointed at her. "You." She pressed the small metal piece on her throat again. Same robotic voice spoke. "I am called Thalixa of Virel." Jack nodded. "Nice to meet you, Thalixa." She didn't smile, but her gold eyes softened a little. Jack noticed that her armor was no longer flashing red. The healing machine must have worked well. He still didn't understand why she had said, "Touch it, or I'll do it myself." It sounded like a threat, but now she seemed calm. He looked at her translator device. "Can I fix that?" he asked, pointing to it. Alexa frowned, confused. He took a step closer, opened a small toolkit, and carefully pointed to her device. "Broken," he said slowly. "I fix." She hesitated, then nodded. Jack gently removed the translator. It was small, silver, and cracked on the side. He used his multi-tool to open it. Wires were tangled, and the crystal chip inside was burned. At one corner, "No wonder your words sounded strange." Jack mumbled. He replaced the chip with a tiny spare from his own scanner. He rewired the inside, closed it, and handed it back. "Try now." Thalixa pressed the device again. This time her voice came out softer and clearer. "Can you understand me now?" she asked. Jack grinned. "Yes, much better." She looked impressed. "You repaired a Virel translator in minutes. That is rare, even among my people." He shrugged. "I fix things. That's my job." Thalixa smiled for the first time, just a little. "Then you are a fix-bringer for real." Jack chuckled. "I guess I am." They walked deeper into the cave. The air felt charged with energy. Strange markings lit up as they passed. Jack touched one with curiosity, but Thalixa quickly grabbed his hand. "Do not touch symbols without purpose," she warned. "This place is old, powerful, dangerous, if awakened wrongly." "Got it," Jack said, pulling his hand back. No random button pushing. They reached a round chamber filled with more consoles and tall glass tubes. Inside the tubes floated metallic orbs that seemed to sleep. Machines around them blinked slowly, like they were waiting for someone to give them orders. Jack's scanner beeped. Alien tech. Very old, unknown origin. Still active. Lexa pointed to a large circular device on the wall. "This is what I was protecting before you arrived. My mission was simple guard and report, but I got injured during a storm collapse." Nodded, listening. "Your touch woke it," she continued. "The system accepted you. That has never happened with any Virel." "Maybe because I'm human?" Jack asked. Thalexa looked thoughtful. "Perhaps this tech might be older than all known species. It reacts to something different in you." Jack stepped closer to the circle. Light swirled when he raised. His hand, he didn't touch it, just hovered nearby. The symbols shifted and changed into Earth's languages. Chinese, Spanish. Jack's eyes widened. "It knows human languages. This thing's been watching Earth." He tapped the console gently. A soft hum filled the room. A screen appeared in the air, showing planets, ships, and strange star maps. Thalixa stepped forward. He activated the star memory. "Only chosen ones can do that." Jack blinked. "I'm not chosen. I'm just a guy who fixes broken engines and eats space noodles." She looked at him seriously. "You may be more than that now." Suddenly, one of the orbs in the tube began to glow. It floated up and hovered in the air. A deep voice echoed. "From the walls? Not from Thalixa. Not from the translator. Primary fixbringer detected. Phase 1. Complete." Jack turned to Thalixa. "What does that mean?" Her eyes widened. "It means you've passed the first test." "Test? I didn't even study." Jack joked nervously. The orb floated toward him. Soft beam scanned. His body then gently beeped and powered down. Thalexa said, "The old builders made trials. It is said that one day someone would wake the system and pass the 3 tests of wisdom, strength, and unity." Jack frowned. Why would alien tech test people after so long? She stepped closer to him, because it was waiting for the right kind of mind. Not warriors, not kings, but someone who understands machines in balance. Jack rubbed his neck. No pressure, right? The screen in the air blinked 3 symbols: a gear, a flame, and a circle of hands. Thalixa pointed to the gear. Is the trial of creation. It has now begun. Jack sighed. I was hoping to just fix my ship and go home. She smiled again. Touch the path, Fixbringer, or I'll do it myself. Jack laughed. Okay. I'm touching it. He reached forward and touched the gear symbol. The door slid open behind them, revealing a glowing corridor filled with strange lights and floating platforms. The real journey had just begun. The glowing corridor looked like something from a dream or a puzzle. Floating platforms moved slowly in the air. Soft lights blinked from the walls. Everything seemed calm, but Jack knew better. Alien tech never stayed quiet for long. Thalixa stepped beside him, her sharp gold eyes scanning the area. This is the first trial, the trial of creation, she said. Jack looked around. Let me guess, if I mess up, the floor disappears, or a laser zaps us. She gave a small smile. Yes, that is likely. Jack sighed. Great. He stepped onto the first floating platform, held his weight. A soft hum echoed through the chamber. Behind him, Thalixa followed. The platform moved forward, taking them to a large open space where 6 machines floated in a circle. A soft voice spoke from the air. Welcome, Springer. Trial 1. Solve the path. No violence, only creation. The machines lit up, showed a different part, a piece of wire, a glowing cube, a bent pipe, a smooth plate, a spinning ring, and a crystal sphere. Jack stared. Is this a puzzle? Thalixa nodded. You must build something. But what? I do not know. Jack moved to the first machine and touched the wire. Then the cube, the pipe, the others each hovered near him like waiting tools. He turned slowly, looking for clues. The floor lit up, showing a strange shape, like a frame. Something was missing in the center. Jack kneeled and placed the wire into the frame. It snapped into place with a soft click. Then he added the pipe, the cube, and so on. Thalixa watched in silence. Jack worked fast but carefully. His fingers moved like they always did when he fixed engines quick. Sure, focused. One by one. The parts clicked together. When he placed the final piece, the crystal sphere, the whole structure began to glow. A beam of light shot up into the air. Trial 1 complete, the voice said. Creation accepted. Creativity confirmed. Jack let out a breath, one down, but suddenly the lights flickered. The floor rumbled. The platform shook. Alexa pulled him back. Something is wrong. A loud click echoed behind them. From the wall, a large gate opened. 3 tall machines stepped out. They looked like robots, but their bodies were made of black metal with red lines glowing across them. Each had long arms with tools, but sharp ones. Let me guess, Jack said. No violence, huh? Thalixa stepped forward. These are not part of the trial. They are guardians activated by error or by someone watching. One of the robots spoke in a deep voice. Unauthorized access. Second presence not identified as builder. Thalixa readied her arm blade. I am not the Fixbringer, but I am not weak. The robots advanced. Jack looked at the machine he had just built. It still glowed. He shouted, "Can this help us?" and ran to it. He pressed the glowing crystal again. A blue wave burst out and pushed the robots back. Thalixa took the chance and struck the nearest one. Her blade cut into its chest, sparks flying. Jack looked for more controls, more tools, anything. Found a loose cable, wrapped it around 2 energy ports, and shorted the second robot. The third one grabbed him. Its hand closed around Jack's arm. Pain shot through his elbow. Alexa spun, leaped, and kicked the machine away. She slashed through its neck, and the head fell with a loud thud. Silence returned. Jack sat down, holding his sore arm. Okay, that was not part of the plan. Alexa helped him up, passed the test, and survived the trap. That means, something means, I want to go home, Jack joked. But he looked serious too. The room calmed. A new doorway opened. Inside was a small table. On it sat a round stone with glowing lines. Thalixa picked it up. This is the token of the first trial. You must collect 3. Only then can the final choice be made. Jack stared at it. Choice. She nodded. In the end, the system will offer you 2 paths: leave and forget, or awaken and lead. Jack didn't answer. His mind spun with questions. Why him? Why now? What if he failed the next trial? But another part of him, the part that fixed broken things, felt something strange. Excitement. He looked at Thalixa. All right, what's next? She smiled again. Next is the trial of flame. A new hallway opened. Heat drifted out from it. The walls shimmered with red light. Jack muttered, Fire. Of course. He followed Thalixa into the hallway, holding the glowing token in one hand and rubbing his sore arm with the other. Behind them, the lights dimmed. The machine they had built slowly folded down, as if going to sleep again. But the system was now awake and watching. The hallway felt hot even before Jack stepped inside. Orange lights blinked on the walls. A strange humming sound echoed through the tunnel like electricity waiting to jump. Sparks danced along metal coils that curved through the stone. Thalixa walked ahead without fear. Her armor glowed faintly, adjusting to the heat. Jack followed, sweat already forming on his neck. Trial of flame, he muttered. Sounds fun. Thalixa looked back. This trial is not only fire, it is a challenge of energy, of control, of balance. Jack nodded slowly. So it's not just about power, it's about how you use it. She smiled. Fixbringer. As they moved deeper, the tunnel opened into a massive chamber. In the center stood a large machine, tall, round, and filled with moving gears and glowing cables. It looked half-finished, or maybe half-broken. Sparks jumped from wire to wire like tiny bolts of lightning. The air buzzed. A voice echoed from the walls. Trial 2. Control the flame. Power the heart. Survive the surge. Jack stepped forward slowly. I think I'm supposed to fix this thing, without frying myself. Thalixa pointed to a row of glowing panels. Seems like a power grid. You must connect the correct lines. It's too much energy, and it will burn. It's too little, and it will fail. Jack studied the panels. Symbols shifted on each one. Some looked like temperature controls, others like voltage meters. He took a deep breath. Okay, time to fix a puzzle made by aliens. He started with the largest cable, following it to a glowing sphere at the base of the machine. It pulsed like a heart, slow, steady, patient. He adjusted the first dial carefully. A hum responded. Good, Thalixa said. You're calming the flame. But then one of the side panels flashed red. A coil above them snapped and let out a spray of sparks. Too much, Jack shouted, twisting a dial fast. The red light faded. He wiped sweat from his forehead. This is like tuning 10 engines at once, while they're on fire. Thalixa stepped beside him. You must keep trying. The trial is yours alone, but I will guard you. As Jack worked, small flying drones began to drop from the ceiling. They were round and had glowing eyes. At first they only watched. But after Jack connected the third cable, they started moving. One flew close and shot a tiny spark at him. He jumped back. Hey! Another drone shot at the control panel, trying to overload it. Thalixa reacted fast. She drew her energy blade and leaped, slashing one drone in half. They are part of the test, she said. To break your focus. Off. Of course they are, Jack muttered. He crouched down, adjusting the last wire. The heart of the machine beat faster. Beep. Warning. Energy unstable. Jack didn't panic. He remembered his training. One wire out of balance meant one thing there. Was a ground connection missing? He looked around and saw a metal rod half buried in the floor. Thalixa, help me lift this, he shouted. Together, they pulled the rod up and slid it into the final slot. The moment it clicked, the entire machine glowed bright gold. The sparks faded. The humming stopped. Then, A new sound filled the air. Steady. Like a calm heartbeat, the voice returned. Trial to complete. Balance achieved. Flame controlled. The drone shut down. Doors ahead opened. Cool air rushed in. Jack sat down and sighed with relief. Thalixa looked at him with pride. You did not just pass. You adapted. That is what the trial seeks. He smiled. Just another day fixing problems. They walked into the next room. It was small and round. In the center sat another glowing token, this one shaped like a flame dot. Jack picked it up. It felt warm, like a memory of sunlight. 2 tokens, he said. 1 left. Thalixa nodded. The final trial is different. It is not fire, not machines. It is the trial of unity. Unity, Jack asked. What kind of trial is that? 1, you cannot pass alone. Before he could reply, the room shook. Lights dimmed. Warning, external interference detected, the system said. A screen appeared. Strange ship was approaching from orbit. Its shape was sharp, black, and fast. Jack didn't recognize the design. Thalixa narrowed her eyes. That is not from Virel, and it is not peaceful. Jack stared at the screen. Someone else wants this place. She placed a hand on his shoulder. Then we must hurry. The final trial may not wait. Jack held the 2 tokens tightly and nodded. Let's finish this. Together, they stepped into the next hall. The doors closed behind them, and the trial of unity began. The final hallway was different. It was wide, quiet, and filled with soft white light. No sparks, no fire, no puzzles on the walls. Jack and Thalixa walked slowly, unsure of what would come next. Jack held the 2 glowing tokens, the gear, and the flame in one hand. The other hand stayed close to his tool pouch. Thalixa walked beside him, her blade ready. This is the trial of unity, she said. But the path is hidden until your heart is clear. Jack raised an eyebrow. So, no machines to fix. She shook her head. This is not a test of tools. It is a test of trust. They reached the end of the hallway. A large door stood before them, smooth and gray. No buttons. No lights. Nothing. Then a voice filled the room. Final trial, unity. Choose your path. Only one may enter. Jack blinked. Wait, what? A glowing line appeared between them on the floor. The door split into 2 smaller doors. One marked with a human symbol, one marked with a Virel symbol. Only one of us, Jack asked. Thalixa nodded slowly. Yes, one goes forward, one waits. The voice continued. Unity is not standing side by side. It is knowing when to step back or forward.
Side.
I hate riddles. He looked at Thalixa. You've trained your whole life for this. You should go. She shook her head. You activated the system. You passed the trials. You carry the tokens. Its place responds to you. Jack stepped back, then forward, unsure. He'd come here by accident. He wasn't a warrior or a leader, just an engineer. But somehow, this place believed in him. Can we fail this trial? He asked quietly. Thalixa answered gently, yes, if we choose. With fear or pride, we lose. Jack closed his eyes. He thought of the puzzles, the fire, the sparks, the machines, and Thalixa who had saved him more than once. Then he looked up. There must be another way. He stepped toward the line between them. He placed both tokens on the floor halfway across the line. I can't do this without you, he said. And maybe unity means not leaving anyone behind. The floor lit up. The line disappeared. The 2 doors melted into one large, shining door. Unity confirmed. Final gate unlocked. Thalixa smiled. You broke the rule. Passed. The test. Jack laughed. Typical human thinking. Together, they stepped through the glowing door. Inside, they found a massive chamber. In the center was a high platform, and above it floated a crystal sphere larger than a starship. Lights danced within it like galaxies spinning. The voice returned, but now it sounded older, deeper, almost alive. Trials, creation, control, connection. Sphere showed images. First, Jack working with tools. Then, him standing with Thelixa. Then Earth itself, blue and beautiful, floating in space. This place was built by the first ones, the voice said. They watched many species, but waited for one with balance. One with the power to build and the heart to connect. It stepped forward. Why me? The voice answered. Because humanity is new, but not afraid to try. You fix what is broken. You choose help over fear. You pass not by strength, but by choice. Thelixa looked at Jack with pride. This place has chosen you as its awakener. Jack shook his head. I don't know what that means. The sphere glowed. You may leave and forget this ever happened. Or you may become the bridge, the guide. The first to connect worlds through the old path. A second image appeared. A tall control tower with a wide seat made for a human. Below it, planets. Linked by glowing lines, Thelixa looked serious. If you accept, your life will change forever. Jack stayed quiet. The room waited. He looked down at his hands, dirty, tired, strong. Then he looked at Thelixa. You said something to me once, he said. Touch it or I'll do it myself. She smiled. When you touched it. Jack stepped onto the platform and placed his hand on the sphere. I accept. The chamber lit up like sunrise. Energy rushed through the walls. Old systems woke. Satellites aligned. A signal shot into space. Above the planet, in deep orbit. The strange ship from before received the signal. Its black surface shimmered. Inside, a silent figure watched. The screen showed Jack's face. Underneath, a message blinked. Humanity confirmed. Phase 2, begin. Back in the chamber. The voice spoke one last time. The awakener has been chosen. Let the stars remember. Thelixa stood beside Jack. You touched more than machines. You touched fate. Jack laughed. Let's hope I didn't break it. Together, they watched the lights form a path not just for humans, but for many to come. A path of peace, trust, and unity. The stars above the ancient chamber glowed brighter than ever. The great machine, silent for centuries now, thrummed with power and purpose. Jack Reeves stood at the center of it all, his hand still resting on the crystal sphere. His heart beat. Fast. His mind raced. He had passed all 3 trials. He had awakened a system older than Earth's history. And now he had a choice to make. Thelixa stood beside him, quiet and calm, but her eyes never left his face. The voice of the system returned, soft yet strong. 2 paths stand before you, Fixbringer. One is return, one is remain. In the air, in one, Jack sat in a small ship, flying back toward Earth. His life looked simple again. His old job, his favorite tools, his quiet cabin in Luna Station. In the second image, Jack sat in a glowing chair at the top of a tall tower, filled with lights and maps. Around him stood beings of many shapes and species, listening, learning. He guided them, helped them understand the ancient technology, helped them work together. Jack's voice was quiet. If I return, I forget all this? Voice said, that is the rule, to keep the balance, to protect the path. And if I stay, he asked. You will become the first guide, the system said, the first to lead others. The bridge between worlds. Thelixa stepped closer. The old ones designed this system to test not just knowledge, but wisdom. You passed with both. I believe you are the right one. Jack looked at her. You'd stay too? She smiled slightly. I was trained to protect this place. Now, I would rather protect you. He felt something deep in his chest, trust, even friendship. Strange how quickly bonds could grow when life depended on it. He turned to the floating chair that had appeared behind the crystal sphere. It was simple, but the design spoke of honor and responsibility. Is this really what I was meant for? Jack asked aloud. The voice answered without words, just a gentle hum. Like a machine saying yes. Jack walked slowly toward the chair. His boots echoed on the clean metal floor. He touched the edge of the seat. It was warm. He looked back once. More, you're sure I'm the right one? He asked the Lexa. She gave a short nod. Touch it, or I'll do it myself. Jack laughed. You said that the first time we met? And it worked, she replied. He sat down. The chair adjusted to his shape. Lights came on all around the room. The crystal sphere floated higher. A signal burst out into the stars' bright, fast-reaching systems far away. Awakener confirmed, the system said. Star network reboot in progress. Screens around the chamber blinked to life. One showed a virile city lighting up with shock. Another showed a peaceful alien race watching the sky with joy. A third showed Earth where a signal had just been received at a science station. Back on Earth, the technician stared at his screen. Sir, we just got a signal from deep space. It's not natural. It's human-made. But it's also something else. The message read, We are not alone, but we are ready. Back in the chamber, Jack felt the machine respond to him not as a user, but as a part of it. The ancient system accepted his commands, but more than that, Chuck shared its knowledge. Maps filled his mind, worlds long lost, races still hidden, plans built by a forgotten race, now waiting to continue. Jack stood from the chair and faced the Lexa. It's not just about fixing machines, he said. It's about building bridges between people. She nodded. Then let us build them together. They exited the chamber through a different door, one that led up toward the surface. The jungle sky was dark, filled with stars. A calm wind blew. A new platform had risen near the crashed sunhopper. It glowed softly and floated just above the ground. It's a transport, Jack said. To begin the mission. The Lexa looked at him. Where first? Jack smiled. They'll need to hear the story. Then Varel. Then everywhere. As they stepped onto the platform, the system spoke once more. Welcome, Pathmakers. Journey begins. The platform lifted into the sky. Below, the jungle slowly faded from view. The stars stretched wide before them. Jack looked at the Lexa. I guess I'm not just a fix-bringer anymore. She smiled. No, now, you are a guide. He grinned. Let's go fix the galaxy. Stars welcomed them as they rose into the sky together.